Hi everyone, my name is Himanshu and welcome to What It Takes. William Shakespeare once said, "One touch of nature makes the whole world kin." And guess what? Who brings that nature to you? It's wildlife photographers, right? And today's domain is photography, and one of my closest to my heart. I'm really passionate about photography myself, but wildlife photography is something beyond imagination, right? And I have invited someone very special, which I have been really thrilled about meeting since so long, and finally I got time with him. And he's none other than Alvis Lazarus, right? And let's probably help me talk about a little bit about him, right? So he's basically a wildlife photographer, and he specializes in wildlife portraits and wildlife action photography, and he has traveled all across India and taken the best shots, trust me. And he has been winning a lot of awards since couple of years. He has been in this photography since almost 5 years now, over 5 years now, and he has more than 150,000 followers in Facebook, almost 38,000 followers in Instagram. His photos are killing everywhere. They are so beautiful, right? And he has won many awards, which I was talking about. He is a winner of Nat-Geo Your Shot for February 19th magazine, and he's 4 winning wildlife images in 2018, published at Nat-Geo Daily Dozen, and National Geographic Top Shot winner of 2017, and BBC Yo Photo winner of 2017, right? The photos which I'll be showing and displaying you, guess what? These photos are incredible, and and not only that, I was much more curious about this person. This person has influenced a lot of people in a positive way and has been giving a message, right? And you don't want to miss a single word from him. So let's get back to the conversation and let's have a wonderful time with Alvis. So, hi Alvis, hi, welcome to What It Takes. How are you?
Hello Himanshu, a very good morning, and thank you so much for inviting me, and looking forward to have a great discussion with you.
Absolutely, Alvis, and thanks for joining us in the morning. And the moment I was going through photos and the kind of work that you have been doing since 5 years now in the wildlife photography, it has thrilled me to the extent that how can someone enroll themselves in such a platform and be awarded by National Geographic, BBC, and all this, and along with that, you already own your own business as well in the supply chain industry.
Yeah.
It just gives me a goosebumps. How can you actually do multiple things? But we will love to learn about this wildlife photography from you, and
Okay.
what level of involvement that you have been in this industry, and what contribution you have been doing. And we would love to hear from you a lot and help a lot of people who are looking forward to move in this industry, right?
Definitely.
But before that, let's start with the background piece. Why do you share a little bit about your background?
Okay. So I need to go back almost like 20 years. So my background is, when I was doing my schooling, one thing was sure, I always loved wildlife. I used to see, now if I chew back my memories, I used to always see Nat-Geo or Discovery. These are the things which will run mostly on TV. But
Right.
that time when I was completing my schooling, I didn't really have no choice. To be very frank, I didn't even know that something called as wildlife photography as a profession exists. So it's absolutely no way I would have become a wildlife photographer at that point of time. And my mom is a doctor. So I should have become a doctor, but somehow I have decided it takes a lot from you seeing my mom. So I have become an engineer. So I am a mechanical engineer by profession. And then I specialized in supply chain. So I did my post-graduation masters, and then finally I did my management course from IIM Calcutta. So that journey was going good, and then I worked for almost 7 different organizations, multiple US MNCs I worked with. But still that thirst towards wildlife was always there. So 5 years before I was lucky enough to start my own organization. That's why delegate most of my responsibilities, and then I have decided to pursue wildlife photography as a profession. That is how it all started. And currently, as I stand back, really it has been a great journey. It has been a hard journey because I have not learned wildlife, so I need to learn a lot of things, plus have learn about the photography as well. These two gel well together. And now after 2-3 years I've started contributing back a lot. Initially it's more of learning and setting my wildlife photographer as a profession, but now I contribute back through many conservation organizations. To be most of my time also goes working with the players like Panther. I have a formal role as a partner wildlife photographer. I am also recently engaged with the Planet Trotters as a brand ambassador. But keeping this aside, most of my time goes in coaching people in terms of telling them what is this wildlife, because there is a lot of misconception about wildlife photography. The one that is like wildlife photography, you can do it as a hobby, but you cannot make money out of it. That is an absolute ignorance, I would say. So I invest a lot of my time in youngsters who are interested in wildlife, coaching them, not just wildlife, also about photography. These both are very crucial. So I invest a lot of time on that, because that is a crucial step in conservation. Because unless people believe and start giving their love to wildlife, it is very difficult to conserve wildlife. That is what I believe in.
Absolutely, Alvis. In fact, one of the statement that I've heard from you as well, that this is where this is so challenging that take one picture that snaps. It happens only once.
Yes.
And you might as well scrap it right away. Right? So you got to be really prepared for it. You got to be really emotional to it, what I say, right?
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you shared the journey about how the passion was there. But I would love to know from you. I would love to hear from you. What fascinates you about wildlife?
See, I don't know. See, it's kind of, you will never feel like, see, I'll tell, first let me tell you one thing. Don't think like wildlife photography, so you'll have some a great time. There is a lot of hard things in terms of you need to be in scorching sun. You need to just roam around like a nomad. You are not even sure what you're going to see. But sometimes I think the underlying factor is when you have that specifically the love for wildlife and that passion, all those things get somehow blurred away, and you will just focus on what you want. I think that is the main thing. That is the main thing behind. And then, as you rightly said, when you then see those memories in the form of pictures, not just videos. You just open a picture and you can just see it and then think about what happened that day. The one picture which immediately, as you just talked about, the moment doesn't repeat. If you see in my profile, one picture which is a very simple picture of two stags on Bandipur, which is in Karnataka. They will just stand and then they will just look at you. Okay.
Absolutely.
So this got the biggest crown of me, where this was published in magazine. It won a Daily Dozen as well. Not just that, it got a biggest crown last year, where Nat-Geo has completed 10 million uploads of pictures. On that day, they have selected just 20 images out of the 10 million as the top. And this tag image was one among them. Okay,
absolutely.
And Himanshu, you won't believe, that day we were actually tracking a tiger. There were 6 people in the vehicle. 3 of them are my friends. And I saw this group of stags. Okay, so this is like beautiful jungle, and there were a lot of stags, and then there were these as well. So I was seeing them, and suddenly as I saw them, one by one they were moving. Then I visualized something, that what if only few stags are there and they look at me. I kind of visualized, and I asked the naturalist to wait there for more time, and the people in the vehicle, including my friends, were not happy because we were tracking a tiger, and they were like, let's go. No, I said, no, They all kept hand like this, and they were like literally scolding me. but I waited there for 15 minutes, and finally, just a moment, I actually burst a shot of almost 7 shots. In that only one shot, the both stags were exactly looking at me, and
My God.
that moment. And after that, my friends tried a lot to get a picture like that. No, even I tried myself whether I'll get a moment like that. It does not repeat. The same moment does not repeat again. So that is, see, this is the behind the scenes. These are the things which will happen. Now, if I see back that image, all those memories will come back to me, and such a moment, just a simple moment, but that is what even people at that global stage look for. In fact, the Nat-Geo editor given a feedback, Alvis, this moment was so perfect, and I even feel that it is fake because both look alike. It's like so symmetric. It's like mirrored. So that's so good. Yeah.
My God. I mean, the urge, right? The urge is there that to get one snap, but that is something which will change your entire life. You never know when it comes.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Amazing. I guess that's fascinates. Nice. So you know what? Like you said in the beginning, that there are a lot of people who are actually looking to do something good in photography, right? And there is a huge scope altogether. You're not only wildlife, but there are several other sectors that they are already operating, working towards. Even they start from home itself many times, right?
Exactly.
But when it comes to wildlife photography, wildlife actually, what I understand is it's actually a cause that you're actually influencing a lot of entire environment across the earth, right? And that's what I would like to understand from you, that what it takes to be really good at it, and how somebody who wants to conserve the environment and through photography, how can we help them to to make at least a game plan that next 2 years you're right there and you are doing actually a great cause, right? So let's start with a couple of things that how would someone invest their time and money, right? So let's say, what are the top 5 expenses being a wildlife photographer, and how much a person should be ready with, let's say, to start with?
Okay, so let me put this way. So we need to actually segregate this into 2 sets of people. One, people who right from their schooling they completed, the time when you need to decide whether I have to become a engineer or a doctor or a professor, like that. You decided that you want to become a wildlife photographer or any other role. There are hundreds of roles related to wildlife. Okay, so that route is completely different. Okay, so in that route, most cases you will get funded. Himanshu, this is very, very important. So you like at a very tender age, you like wildlife and you got into it. By the time you completed your studies in wildlife, you probably you can even do up to a PhD on a specific species also. You will get funded. People will be ready to give you kits, equipment, fund your travel. Everything will be taken care of, and you will get your salary as well.
Wonderful. Okay.
Right. So most of the people who work in Nat-Geo or Discovery Channel at any farm, all these people, their complete thing is taken care by the organization. It is same like so. This is it's not very uncommon. For example, you are becoming an IT. You are becoming an IT specialist. You are joining, say, Infosys or TCS. You are joining. Who is taking care of your laptops? Who's taking care of everything is covered. So there is same like that. It will be taken care. So you need to get into the right job. So this is very, very important, right? But second thing, now people like me, right? So who have already taken a different profession, and then I want to get into wildlife photography as a profession. I'm not even talking about hobby. Even then you do really good. You took that stretch, because last 5 years is a great stretch for me. Okay. So if you do that, then in that as well, no one is going to fund for you unless you join an organization. So in my case, I am running on my own. In that case, you need to do an investment. I will come to it what would be the investment. But here as well, you do really good. For example, I am getting a lot of calls to join the wildlife organization. So I am just a newbie, considering that I've started only 5 years. So definitely you do a hard work. You can join an organization. In that case also, you will complete trips and everything will be funded. The third one is people who wants to do it as a hobby. See, hey, my profession is going on, but I just want to do it like a hobby. But those
Correct.
kind of people also you need to put in the money. Not just that. Till the time you get a job in wildlife, you need to build your portfolio. Like for example, till the time you become a doctor, you would have learned, you would have invested something same like that. You need to invest on your equipment. Without that, you can't build a portfolio.
Absolutely.
So
Correct.
you need to, at least I'm telling, a bare minimum to have a decent kit in photography. I'm talking about a DSLR camera with a lens, with a tripod, etc. You can easily do it in say around 2 lakhs.
Oh wow, okay. Feasible.
You can do that. Okay. And even I have a lot of other tricks. Even you don't have that money to do that, lease those equipments. You have an option of lease. Now so we are in an so today morning I have read the news of Toyota coming up with a great option of subscription. That is, now you want a Fortuner, you no need to buy it, you can lease it for 3 years or 5 years. So, and we are living on an age where everything is leased. Similar way, there are a lot of rental companies available. For example, if you are going to Masai Mara, you go empty hand, land in Africa, you will get a lot of companies who are ready to give you the kit. You can rent it. So that comes much cheaper. And not just that, traveling as well, you can actually, if you do a little bit of research, or anytime anyone can reach me, I am ready to share what I know.
Wonderful.
You can plan your own travel, and you can save at least 50% of actually what you're about to spend can be saved if you do a little bit of effort in understanding where I can book it, where I can stay, how I can group with other people and go. So like that, see, it's a lot of options are there. If you have the will, there is definitely a way. But if you want to buy it, you need to spend at least 2 lakhs. I have a very professional kit, so my total kit is around 15 lakhs. But I didn't spend 15 lakhs on day one. Day one, I started with a 30,000 budget only. But from there, step by step, I have improved, and now I reached a stage where I'm earning as well. So I am ready to put in some money to get the best kit in the market. So that's how it is.
Wonderful. In fact, that is where thanks a lot for the input. That actually a lot of places it is funded, but somebody who really like you, I have a lot of friends. One of my friends who are in IT already, and they are very passionate about photography. They want to move in this direction full time, and that's again what you covered very well. That there is, if you have to invest by yourself, might as well get rid with at least 2 lakhs. Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Alvis.
So I'll tell you, Himanshu, I want to just add one point here.
Sure. Please. Yeah.
What we should not do, because we are now giving a direction. I'll tell you what should not happen. Some people will reach me and then tell, Alvis, I'm really interested in wildlife photography. Can I get a job in wildlife? So that doesn't happen. So it is like telling, you completed your 12th standard and you're telling, hey, I want to become a doctor. Can you give me a doctor's job? Is it possible? You need to invest at least 6 years of effort. You need to invest before you become a doctor. 4 years you need to spend before you become an engineer. Like that, you need to spend time before you get into a job. You can't expect sometimes people doing a profession will want to shift immediately. That doesn't happen. You need to invest your time. You need to learn the game first, and then definitely there are a lot of options available.
Amazing. So according to let's say if a person is putting, let's say, 3-4 hours on a daily basis, so it takes 3 to 4 years to get kind of ready to get in the field. Okay. What do you feel?
Okay, so let me put it again. There are two different things. So in wildlife photography, there are two things: wildlife and photography. And I always tell them, what comes first? Wildlife. And I will give a very, very famous example. I will give you that so that your viewers also will be very interested. Assume you are you and your girlfriend, or if you are married, or you're with your wife. Okay, assume you are going on a trip on a hill station. Okay, you are on a hill station, and you are on, for example, if Kodaikanal means there is a beautiful viewpoint is there, right? And if you go there, one random person has come. Let's put it like there is a random girl who's there. They came as a group. They said, hey, can you just take a picture?
Photo.
We want to be there. So
Right.
you are
Right.
taking their image. This is one scenario. Second
Correct.
scenario, the moment was so good, your girlfriend or your wife is asking, hey, can you take me on picture? I want to keep it as a display pic. Now, this is scenario 2. In
Right.
scenario 1, you would probably go, keep it, click it. Within few seconds, you will give it back. Can you do the
Correct.
same thing to your girlfriend or wife that you just
Not
take
at
it,
all.
click it and give it and walk off? Not at all. So what you
No
will
way.
do?
No way.
You will keep, hey,
That's
can you move little bit this side? Can you just chin up? Can you smile a little
Absolutely.
bit? Check it whether it is fine. Why? Because there is a difference. Both are same, both the same location, everything is same. On the first scenario, there is some random people, you need to just take an image. But in the second case, you love your girlfriend, you love your wife so much, you want her to look good. So you will put that extra care. This is all the crux of wildlife photography.
Oh
Hello?
my God.
Okay.
You can hear me now?
So, yeah, I can hear you now. So this is the crux of wildlife photography. So what that means is the love for wildlife is the key. Not just that, you know completely about your wife or girlfriend, telling what she likes, how she behaves, how she poses, whether she likes the face, everything. No, that is key. The clicking is the same. What that means is you need to invest your time on learning, understanding wildlife. That is the step 1. Your 70% or 80% of time goes in learning and understanding the wildlife, their behaviors. Then you create that bond. Photography piece is just a small thing. You need just 2 weeks maximum. If you are a very, very bad learner, you need 2 weeks to learn the nuances of photography. And I can probably tell you, I guarantee you that you can learn photography in 2 weeks. Okay, that's it. So what takes more time is about wildlife. Okay, so that's the difference.
Wonderful, Alvis. I think that's the crux. Nice, great. Right, so there, you know what? There are a lot of courses available. There are a lot of these things available. But how would you put those courses in place if somebody wants to get into this field? Is that important? Is that really necessary, or how's it?
So let me put this way so that I can't put names here, but I will give you the clear indication. Okay. There are wildlife photography courses which run for 6 months. Oh. There are wildlife photography courses which run for 1 year. You, for example, if you need to spend that kind of amount of time, then you are becoming kind of a filmmaker. You are getting into the complete media field where you are going to, like you are becoming a cinematographer. You understood people who take movies. You should know about that. You can spend that kind of amount. But if you see those course content, it talks about ISO, shutter speed, it talks about aperture. Like, trust me, those kind of courses, you should not waste your time, because I strongly believe the more time you waste your time on courses, the more it is going to get delayed to getting onto the field.
Oh, right.
What I would suggest is, I think your, as I said, wildlife and photography. Even to learn wildlife, yes, you can do complete course. Like there are 1 year courses, 2 year courses. This is for the people who are just want to pursue wildlife continuously as a profession. You need to get into those kind of courses. Learning wildlife, photography, trust me, you can learn it in, I said 2 weeks. In worst case scenario, you can do for 4 weeks. That is good enough. Actually, the edge is learning about your wildlife. And very, very important, the actual learning of photography comes on field. So you get the basics. What is an DSLR? What's the difference between DSLR and the current technology, mirrorless? And how to choose a lens. 18 mm. What is this 100 mm? What kind of in DSLRs? What is ISO, shutter speed? All the basics you know. The rest you need to learn it on the field. I think this is the way you should place. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wonderful. So, in fact, when we are talking about field right now, so we would love to hear from you that what are those memorable, place or field that you actually it's been memorable for you, right? So let's start with a couple of places that you have started, doing the shooting and take the photographs of memorable places. And what are the best places that you love?
Okay, so let me put this way. There are the first time when I saw tiger, leopard, everything started in Kabini, which is Nagarhole Tiger Reserve. So that is like a second home for everyone who's in Karnataka, because Kabini has everything. Okay, so and there is a famous saying, Kabini never disappoints, because whenever we go, we can see something, because all the different animals what you can see in the country is available there. So it's kind of a well-rounded package. So that is where I started. More and more, just take the car, 4 hours drive, you get do some 2 or 3 safaris, come back. That is how it all started.
Okay.
But then there are few places which are really so I am kind of person where obviously tiger is my favorite. So if you see my profile, I started with everything. Finally, it funneled down to tigers.
Tiger.
But I love to go to a place and relax. Be at your place. You need to spend a lot of time into the jungle like that. So that kind of support. So Kabini, I still feel it is kind of little rush. There morning you need to get into your vehicle, but there will be rush there as well. Okay, there is the other side of wildlife photography.
Right.
I don't want to start with a negative note. So yes, Kabini is great, but I love Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, because the difference is, and I travel as a family, Himanshu. Most of the time we travel as a family.
Wonderful.
My wife will be with me, and now I have a 2-year-old son. He is also accompanies us on all the trips. So what I do is hire the entire vehicle, and the entire jeep is yours, and you can decide. You want to park in a place and spend some time, you can do it. You decided that you just park the car near to a lake in the jungle and then just relax. Anything you can do. There is no rush. You are getting my point. So that experience cannot happen in Kabini. Kabini, you need to be a good guy. You remember the Bandipur I talked about? I got lot of scoldings before I take that image, right? That I would have easily said, okay guys, let's go. I would have missed that moment. You understood?
Correct.
In Bandhavgarh, there are in Bandhavgarh, Ranthambore, Tadoba, Carbon, everywhere you can book the complete vehicle. But there is something which attracts in me, that Bandhavgarh is like my second home. So every year I visit once or twice, with an exception of 2020, which didn't happen. So that is like my best location. The other area which I really like is my backyard. So trust me, I'm not telling it for fun. You actually, that is the best place. It is absolutely free of cost, and I am from a village. So basically, if I walk in just less than just few meters down from my home, I've got some beautiful Baya weavers there. And Baya weavers' behavior I have been documenting for the past 4 years. I am documenting multiple images just from my backyard, got published in Nat-Geo and BBC, all from my backyard. I will just take my camera, go sit there, watch them. That is what I do. And there one moment which actually got me the crown, again got published in Nat-Geo, and on a Nat-Geo annual competition it reached till the finals. It didn't win it, but it reached till the finals. I'll give you a little bit background of Baya weaver. Baya weaver, the male bird builds the nest. You would have seen that funnel-shaped nest.
Right.
So
I saw. Correct.
Right. So it will build the entire nest, not the funnel, not the tunnel. Only the nest it will build, and the male bird will fiddle its wings and call the potential female. The female Baya weavers will come in, inspect the nest. Trust me, I have seen this happening.
Wow.
So the bird will come. The bird will visit multiple nests. And then, depending on the construction quality, it would have used all the weeds and grass and everything. That should not dry. If it dried out, it will reject him. So the bird has to build another nest. Finally, the female bird will finally decide her mate, and then both together they will build the final entry. The tunnel will be built at the last.
Oh wow, nice.
You won't believe, Himanshu, after a year of watching a single nest, every day I need to go, I will watch. I waited and took a moment of a male hanging onto the nest, it is pedaling, and exactly that female is coming to his nest. I have frozen that moment. That is the image
Oh my
which got
goodness.
published.
Amazing,
So
amazing. And for the viewers, we will show that photo right away. That's awesome, awesome. You got to have a lot of patience in this, Alvis.
no,
My
so see, I'll
God.
tell you that it is. Trust me, it is not patience. Don't think me that I am a very patient guy, but
Huh?
every wildlife photographers will agree with me. Moment
Uh-huh.
you put that focus on wildlife, patience will
Uh-huh.
automatically come. You will be patient. You will be
Beautiful,
waiting. All these things are part of the excitement. So it's
beautiful.
a great story to share with you.
Superb, superb, amazing, Alvis. Love to hear the story. Yeah, Alvis. So we would love to know about what is the importance of networking in this field. What do you feel?
Okay. Sure. So let me put this way. There is nothing wrong in going as a solo traveler. There is nothing wrong. So it's again a personal preference. If you ask me, I prefer to go as a family, because in my case it is completely a different scenario on a vehicle. Whenever we are taking a complete safari vehicle and going, I prefer to take a shot, and immediately I prefer to show to my wife, get her feedback, because she is the best critic. And one side, I will be sometimes shooting a very interesting tiger moment. My son will be dragging my camera. All this will happen, but I kind of enjoy it, and that is how I prefer it. But
Nice.
at the same time, there were cases I went to Rangantittu. I go just 7:30 in the morning. I'll be there in Rangantittu. That means I have to started early morning from Bangalore.
Wow.
Morning itself, have a chat with the security. Moment it opens, get inside. I will go and just sit on one place where all the painted stars and your lot of birds are there. So what I do is sit in a place. You won't believe. Probably even we carry the lunch as well. The full day we will just sit in one place and shoot whatever is coming on that area. The camera will be just there. You just enjoy the moment. These are the ways you can enjoy, and this is completely your personal preference. But networking, when you're talking about, you can network as a group. There are many opportunities, but why you should do that? The networking should not happen just for travel. Okay, because obviously you need to have a lot of travel tips are required. But when you network and find people as your mentors, whom you can talk with.
Absolutely.
You can talk with a lot of photographers. It's not, you don't need to find out like one person as mentor. You can talk to any senior people, or even no need to even talk. If the senior person is writing somewhere some articles and blogs and etc., it is always good to follow someone and see that, and not necessarily you have to follow someone. For example, I don't follow any specific people. I read all the articles, all the wildlife related material coming on National Geographic. That source itself take probably one full lifetime needed to read everything. So that is a kind of content which is available. So you need to be very active, and networking is always two ways. I believe it's even social media where people are using for networking. Now currently social media is used kind of this. Someone posts an image, everyone goes and likes, and they say it's great, good, awesome, and it ends there. It should not be. It should be two-way. As for example, in Facebook, I have close to around 150,000 people are connected in my Facebook.
Amazing.
And every month, the account is reaching to millions of people. That is, even recently, Facebook left me a note that your engagement level has increased by some percentage and all they've said. But you know what is important? It is not just to tell, yes, great. No, a lot of people will reach you. A lot of people will have questions. You need to talk to them back and give them that. Otherwise, there is no point in having a big group. Then it becomes, so you need to, you should use that opportunity. So the networking I see is always two-way. So you are okay. Yeah, so you can either select one person as a mentor, or you can go out and find the places where you can read a lot, or there are a lot of wildlife books. For example, if you like tiger, there are books about tiger.
Wow.
If you like birding, there is book conservation. If like wildlife videography, creative editing, creative designs, there are books on that. Like that, there are so many options, that abundant of content available. We need to decide what we want and go and pursue that.
Wonderful, Alvis, wonderful. In fact, you covered most of the most of the topics which actually relates to how do you educate in your particular field. So let's say you have chosen a field of, you're really passionate about tigers, right? And definitely, if you talk about one wildlife animal, and it's like there is a huge material altogether. So somebody who is starting with their own forte, and there are always material available. So what you rightly said is, I think Nat-Geo is one place where you can actually find a lot of content. Right? Wonderful, great. So I mean, this is a field where you got to be up to the mark with your health. Now, I would love to know about you. I mean, how do you maintain that? This is something that I really wanted to hear, and probably add some tips.
Exactly. So for typically tiger safaris, to be very, so I am not like a what to say, like regularly exercise, I am so perfect. No, absolutely not. I actually like yesterday we were having a conversation of going to Leh and some other camping sites, and my wife was telling, really you should work on your this thing, because I am not very much physically fit. I can do rock climbing, etc. Nothing. No. And those kind of things are not required for tiger safaris, because you will be just sitting and you are going. But the basic fitness has to be there. I think when I say basic fitness, your good health habits are always. You don't want to go to a tiger safari and get some allergy or something, and you can't enjoy it, or you get a fever. So you basic health requirement has to be there. Second, you should plan your travel. Normally, I plan my travel almost 3 months in advance. What are all the things to take? What are all the precautions to take? See the weather report, how things are going to be. Make a list of what are all the things you need to do. You need to be completely prepared. And otherwise, there is nothing like specifically you need to do. It's not like a very, what to say, it's not like you need to climb up a mountain and do. But if you're going to get into, you want to see snow leopard, you want to get into Leh, you want to do trekking, then that needs a lot of preparation. You need to you need to really know how to keep you regulated, how to ensure on high altitude you'll behave. So specific to the trip, you need to prepare. At least 6 months of preparation is needed for those kind of trips.
Wonderful. Right. So, I mean, since you in your case, you're already nearby the areas which is there. So for your case, actually, that is not required, right? And what do you recommend for a newbie to start with? Where I mean, you already said you start with the backyard, but what do you recommend?
Yeah. So what I would suggest is the tiger safaris you can do. So for example, there are two cases. First and foremost thing, you should get a camera. Okay, I told you. So because you need to build your portfolio, you need a camera. You either buy it or you rent it, and then review, which is completely different from what normally people will tell others. Learning the camera, people will tell you should not use the auto mode. You should directly you should move immediately out of auto mode. No, don't do that. If you're completely new, start use like a learner's like your elbow. You are telling what you're doing in a learner's license. With a learner's driving license, someone is supporting you. Same like that. Cameras, learner's licenses, your auto mode. Put an auto mode so that you can see the pictures and learn from it. Like what kind of settings it has used. That is a step one. And then you can also learn quickly about your own camera. You should learn the basics, as I've told you, ISO, shutter speed, etc.
Right.
Maximum 2 weeks. Okay, it is a continuous process, learning process. Then you decide. If you have good amount of money and you like tigers, you directly want to jump onto the field, you can do that. But if you tell no, I want to learn completely, then you can go to backyards. And a second thing, I hate to say this, but if you really want to see some animals and do, I won't normally recommend zoo as a concept. I won't recommend in terms of putting animals in a cages, not taking care of them. So I'm very clear in telling I won't subscribe to that. But purely from a learning standpoint, you can go for some zoos which is well maintained. Animals are kept in big open areas. Those kind of things you can go and test yourself. I think that is one area because backyard you can't see a tiger or you can't see any animal. You can only see birds. So you can use that as an opportunity, provided you can't invest so much of money to go directly to the wilderness. Okay. So but I know where endos keeping animals in a cage. I want to just make sure I put that clear.
Absolutely. So always, this is a path where you never know what kind of challenges you'll come across. But we would like to hear from you that what could be top few challenges that will definitely come and that you should be ready with. One should be ready with.
Okay. First challenge, which is so some of the people will go for tiger safaris, and there could be a lot of empty safaris. It's not like tiger is waiting for you there. Okay.
Correct.
So people will try to convince themselves, oh yeah, I have not seen any tiger, but I am here to enjoy the nature, and like that. These are all just convincing ourselves. Okay, at least we were in jungle. Okay, but it will be really disappointing because there were cases when I did some 4-5 drives and didn't see anything is one of the biggest challenge. So you need to mentally prepared for that. So that's the reason I'll always tell, don't keep in mind that I need to shoot a tiger. Go with a very open mind into a jungle. That now see what has happened in COVID-19. Absolutely, we couldn't even go to jungle, and how much we are missing the jungle. So we should go with an open mind, shoot everything, because that's what even if you want to get a lot of awards, so many images got published in Nat-Geo, but most of the images are not tigers. Most of the images are taken in my backyard, birds, taken in Lal Bagh in Bangalore, one owl peeking out. So enjoy everything, right? So get into jungle with a very open mind, so that your disappointment will be very less. Still, you will be disappointed if you don't see a tiger, and go prepared. That's what. So you need to increase your probability. So, for example, when I started initially, my success rate was like 20% in seeing a tiger. But now Bandhavgarh, my success rate is 100%. I have never returned from Bandhavgarh without seeing 15 tigers. Minimum 15.
Oh my God.
So that comes with right naturalist. Very, very important. Right naturalist, right timing. Closely following what is happening at what zone. What is the point where you go to a zone where nothing is happening? Entire tigers happening is in another zone. You are in another zone. So this you need to completely follow. This is where networking also helps. So you have all those information. You know this is where the probability is high. Your success rate goes higher. That is not like a tiger sees only a few set of wildlife photographers and coming. No, they are doing their groundwork. So this is the first challenge. Okay. So this is the first and foremost challenge is not seeing anything. Number one. Second challenge comes from your equipment. That is, you went with that and suddenly you realize you are out of memory cards. You forgot your charger. Suddenly you realize you went with a 70 and 200 mm lens, and tiger is very far. You can't even see a tiger. Or you went with zoom 600 mm lens. You went. Tiger is closer in few meters. You couldn't even. You are seeing through your lens. You are seeing only the eye of the tiger. What you will do? So, getting well prepared for. Otherwise, that will become a huge challenge. Your equipment is very, very crucial. Third challenge is obviously your health, which you have already talked about. You need to be completely be ready for the drive, and you need to take care of that. So that's it. These are the three things. Not challenge. You should be very careful about all these things. Rest is all good. You can have a great time.
Wonderful, Alvis. And last but not the least, what message that you would like to give those people who wants to take this as a profession?
Okay. So for that, I will tell two quotes. So I don't know why I started writing quotes. That more than my images, that is getting a traction. So let me put two quotes. First quote is, in normal days, okay, in normal days, getting up by 8 a.m. itself is a challenge. Okay,
Right.
but during safari days, you will get up by 3 a.m. and then wait when the safari will start. This is the difference. So this is to tell the passion which drives in wildlife photography, and whoever is viewing it today, as a fellow photographer, this is the excitement we all share. It's very much true, right? I had a hard time getting up in morning today at home. In jungle, 3 o'clock we will get up for a 5:30 a.m. safari. 2.5 hours you need to sit and wait. That is how it is. Okay, this is on the excitement. The second one, which is very, very crucial, again a quote: no matter how famous you are, in the jungle, the wildlife or the celebrities. So this is a very, very powerful quote, and this is the way we can see. No matter who you are, no matter how much expensive kit you have, no matter how famous photographer you are, doesn't matter, or no matter who you are, but moment you are inside the jungle, you are no one. You are just an unwanted guest inside the jungle. We are going just for our own wish, not for wildlife. So there, wildlife or the celebrity. So we need to keep that. So there we have become a fan. So we are all fans, wildlife or the celebrities. So wildlife comes first, and we should all keep that in mind. Because what happens, Himanshu, if you see, moment you got little bit famous, moment you got little bit thing, along with that comes an ego, along with that comes a little bit of headweight. We should not do that. We should be always grounded, even if you have a lot of ego, and that is the way. If someone, that is fine, but at least inside the jungle we should give respect to the wildlife and put them first inside the jungle. I think that's all is my wish and request to every viewers, as well as whoever wants to get into wildlife. Please follow this. That's it.
Fantastic, Alvis. Fantastic. Thank you so much for giving that insights and wisdom that you have. Trust me, this is what it takes, right? And thanks a lot for spending so much time with us. And we would love to hear again and again for you. And all the best for all the journeys for you in future. And whoever is looking, guess what? Alvis is there for you. Thank you so much, Alvis, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Himanshu, for this opportunity. Yes, we have been little bit delayed on this, but I hope we had a great time, and I really loved talking to you. Wish you all the best to your channel, and let it grow heaps and bounds, and hopefully we will connect on another session to share more. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Alvis. Thank you so much again. Have a wonderful day. Take care.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.